Hello, my loves. We are going to do episode 3 of Spooky USA. I know it's been a little while, but I was busy being sick, and now I'm a little bit better. So, we're going to go ahead and do episode 3. And I am starting with number 1 being Minnesota the Wendigo. The Wendigo is a creature of Native American folklore that is thought to be the result of cannibalism. You heard that right, cannibalism. A person will turn into a Wendigo, a fang-bearing creature that is tall, skeletal, and hairy. If they resort to eating another human being, will you fall prey to the glowing eyes and snake-like tongue of the Wendigo, or is it just an urban legend? I don't know, you tell me. What is it? I'm over here in North Dakota, and Minnesota's like, my neighbor. And I don't know that I've actually heard that urban legend. And it's kind of crazy because there's a lot of urban legends in here that I've been reading about on this Spooky USA series that I'm doing that I've actually never fucking heard of. Like, never. Never heard of. Okay, number 2, Mississippi, the Witch of Yazoo. I have a really good friend that lives in Mississippi. His name's Plaxton. He's actually one of my best friends. Anywho, the Witch of Yazoo. While living on the Yazoo River, an old woman allegedly lured boatsmen to their deaths with her magic. Kind of like a siren, maybe. One day, the local sheriff chased her into a swamp and she drowned in quicksand. She put a curse upon the town. In 20 years, she said, she would return to set the city aflame. Eerily, and I say that very eerily, in 1904, the city was hit with a massive fire, believed to be the work of the witch. The next day, when people went to visit her grave at the Glenwood Cemetery, they saw that the chain links that were around her grave had been broken, or so the urban legend says. That bitch is on the loose. You know she is. She's out there starting fires. Okay. Number 3, Missouri, the Landers Theater. The Landers Theater in Springfield is supposedly beyond haunted, from fires to stabbings to accidental deaths. This theater has seen it all and many urban legends to tell. Locals and performers have alleged that they've seen the ghosts of the people believed to have perished there, including the janitor who was said to have died during the 1920 fire. This one I had actually heard of. I want to say there's like a movie or a short horror film or something about it because this is just sticking in my mind. So I remember it. I remember it from somewhere. And it is creepy. Especially when you have like a whole town saying, yeah, we're seeing this, these apparitions and things like that. Kind of gives you goosebumps because then you're like, well, it might actually be true and not just an urban legend. Number 4, Montana, the haunting of Chico Hot Springs Hotel. And I think it's Chico or it's Chico, I don't know. But the mysterious lady in white supposedly roams the corridors of the Chico Hot Springs Hotel in prey, scaring guests and staff members. People have reportedly seen the ghost of a woman in white many times, leading them into room 349. Remember that number, 349. Only to find an empty rocking chair that's always swaying back and forth, back and forth. That's fucking really, really scary. I've got goosebumps from that. Woo! Her rocking chair is sometimes found in other rooms as well. That bitch be carrying that sucker down the hall and putting it in everybody's room. She's just trying to scare the piss out of y'all. It's always facing the window. No matter the position the last person left it in, it's always in a new room, new area, but facing the window. She likes a view. That's all there is to it. She likes the view. All right, number 5, Nebraska, the Hatchet House. This one I have heard of. The urban legend of the Hatchet House of Portal reminds us of those scary ghost stories we used to tell each other at camp, if you went to camp. I wasn't a camp girl. I kind of wish I would have been, especially if it was like Camp Crystal Lake, without me dying. But it still would have been fun. Not the dying part, but just, the spookiness. Okay. So, as the legend goes, a school teacher from long ago went insane and decapitated all her students. Holy motherfuck, that's pretty crazy. In the one-room schoolhouse. Afterwards, she placed their heads on their respective desks and took their hearts to a nearby bridge, throwing the organs into the water. This bitch was fucked up. People say you can still hear the hearts beating if you cross it, hence the name Heartbeat Bridge. We dare you to try it. It is a place that I really want to go visit. It is on my bucket list. I know. I'm weird. I have to be weird or I'll die. That's just the thing. Okay. Number 6. Most of us have already heard of this place as well. Nevada, the aliens at Area 51. Do you believe? Because I certainly do. Publicly known as the place where the military tests out some of its most advanced weapons and technology, conspiracy theorists and urban legend diehards suspect that it's also where the U.S. government stashes the UFOs that they don't want us knowing about. And creatures that they may have captured that they don't want us to know about. I believe they're out there. I think it's pretty fucking silly to believe that they're not out there. It's pretty silly to believe that in all space, galaxies, all of it that's out there, that we are the only life. You know what I mean? Just think about that. That's fucking silly. I know that's just my opinion. You can believe whatever you want to. I'm not going to be upset. Let me fix this real quick. There we go. Okay, that was number 5, I believe. Was it? Yeah. Number 6, the legend of Chocorua. Chocorua? We're going to go with Chocorua. I could just say chocolate because it looks like chocolate. New Hampshire, the legend of Chocorua. Mount Chocorua was named after a Native American chief who lived in the early 1700s. Legend has it that he left his son with the Campbell family while he went away on tribal business. While under the family's care, the son died, perhaps accidentally, perhaps not. Nobody actually knows. To exact revenge, Chief Chocorua killed the white man's wife and children. An eye for an eye leaves the world blind, guys. Just saying that. Then the surviving Campbell chased Chocorua to the top of a mountain and shot him dead, but not before the chief had placed a terrible curse upon the land. It is said that the land, now known as Chocorua Lake Conservancy, will inflict suffering and death upon anyone who tries to live there or drink from its rivers. That's no joke. That guy was fucking pissed, and I would have been too. He left his child in the care of another family. His child, I don't think, was cared for. We don't know how the child died. It could have been accidentally, could have been on purpose. We don't really know that. But the child died. Then he got revenge. Then more people got revenge. Do you see what I mean? An eye for an eye leaves the world blind. We can't do that. Although, if it was my child, probably would have did the same thing. Just saying. All right, number 7. New Jersey, the ghost boy of Clinton Road. I'm going to do this one, but I am going to elaborate on a story later on down the road about the Jersey Devil. A friend of mine had mentioned that and told me to do that, and I do know a little bit about it already, so I do want to go into a deep story on that, so stay tuned for that in the near future. But for now, we're going to do New Jersey, the ghost boy of Clinton Road. The ghost of a young boy is said to reside beneath one of the bridges on this road in Passaic County in northern New Jersey. According to legend, he's quite helpful, not to mention honest. If you drop a coin into the water, he will return it to you within 24 hours. That is fucking creepy, but also really cool. Like, really cool. It has become a rite of passage for local teens to go test it out. Well, of course. I'm not a teenager, I'm an old lady, but I want to go test it out. Just throw money in there and just, I don't know, camp out or something, see if he'll return it. How cool is that? Okay, number 8. This is another one that most people already know about. New Mexico UFO crash at Roswell. We all know about Roswell, New Mexico. In 1947, something big, really, really big, crashed on a ranch northwest of Roswell. Excuse me. Members of the U.S. military quickly came to retrieve the debris, which led some to believe that it was something they wanted to cover up, which we still believe that. A UFO, perhaps? We don't know. Adding to the mystery, Jesse Marshall Jr., son of one of the military officers charged with clearing the site, later described the debris he saw his father bring home as being made of lead foil with I-beams. Not quite sure what that is, but according to Roswell UFO Museum, he recalled the writing on the I-beams as purple and strange. Never saw anything like it, he said. Different geometric shapes, leaves, and circles. The US government maintains it was a weather balloon that crashed, but urban legend tells a different story, and you know what? So does fucking common sense. It wasn't a fucking weather balloon. Come on. Come on. People, wake up. Stay woke. Number 9. New York, the legend of Cropsey. I also know a little bit about this story, and I may elaborate later down the road on this one because it's really, I like it. It's a good story. Okay, Staten Island's Cropsey has been a local legend for decades, gaining national attention when the documentary of the same name was released. The story goes that Cropsey had a hook for a hand and was a patient at the Willowbrook State School. Okay, he came out late at night to hunt and chase local kids with his hook hand because he's an asshole. In truth, a series of child murders did take place in that area of Staten Island in the 1970s and the 1980s. And now we need to look at these Halloween memes to feel better. I'm not going to show you the memes because we don't have time for that. But this really happened. So this one's, I don't know. They say this is an urban legend, but this is actually based off of real history. This actually happened in the 1970s and 80s. There was a bunch of child murders that took place. And the way they were killed, I believe, was with a sharp object. It could have been a knife, but it also could have been his hook hand. You know that. It could have been his hook. So, I think that one's real. Okay, number 10, guys. Last one for the night. North Carolina. Take your shirt off. Twist it around your head. Spin it like a helicopter. I don't know if you remember that song. I'm kind of old. That was a super popular song in like the 90s or early 2000s. Petey Pablo. I don't know. Okay, North Carolina, the beast of Bladenboro. Excuse me. Many regions in the United States have their own urban legends of a story about a mutant creature in the woods who kills viciously and indiscriminately in North Carolina. It's the beast of Bladenboro, described by locals as a panther-like, bloodthirsty killer lurking in the darkness. It is said to have attacked numerous dogs and even people. Watch your back when you're walking through the woods in Carolina, North Carolina. That would be creepy as hell. I believe there's a lot of creatures out there that we haven't discovered yet. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe we have discovered them, but there's not many of them left. Maybe that's part of what they're keeping secret in Roswell, New Mexico. Because there's lots of secrets there. There's lots of secrets out there. You know there is. Okay, so that was 10 for tonight. So we have done 30 spookiest urban legends for Spooky USA. We have 20 left, which means we have 2 episodes left because I do them 10 at a time. And we will start the next I can't even talk anymore. We will start the next episode with North Dakota, which is where I'm from, and it's probably going to be some urban legend that I've never even fucking heard of. I do know a lot of stories, urban legends for North Dakota. Obviously, I know the most about my own state because I've lived here my entire life. It's my home state. So I do know a lot. But I'm excited to see what that one says. I have not read ahead, so I'm going to be just as motherfucking shocked as you guys are. Yeah. Alright then. So, I will have another episode for you in just a couple of days. I don't have anything going on. Hopefully I am done being sick for a little while because whew, this was a doozy. This was such a doozy. I'm just gonna remind everybody about the Scared Sexy podcast. I've already scripted the first episode. I'm gonna start scripting the second. I'm gonna do a couple at a time, but obviously I'm just gonna be releasing one every Monday evening. It'll be a weekly thing. We're going to talk about a lot of horror content, and it's going to involve all things that pertain horror, creepy, mysterious, paranormal, unsolved, weird, just all that fun stuff that really kind of makes the hair on our arms raise because it's awesome. It's awesome, okay? It's like a dopamine hit for me. I like it. I like the horror stuff. But then at the end of each episode of my podcast, so like the last 10 minutes, we're going to just touch base on another topic. And some of the topics that I have picked out are like pop culture, music, history, love, relationship, lust, sex appeal, some of the things that I'm knowledgeable in and stuff like that. So yeah, music for sure. I think I said music. I'm getting old and forgetful. And check out this gray hair. It actually looks really pretty in the light. Maybe I should just dye it all gray. Nah, I couldn't. I like my red. I'm the red dahlia, so I need to keep that red hair. I think so. But yeah, so we'll have 2 topics on each episode of the podcast. I think you're really gonna like it. I hope you'll at least give it a chance. And each episode is going to be between 30 and 40 minutes. I may have one a month that runs an entire hour, so it'll be just a little bit longer, but for the most part they'll be right around that 30-minute mark. So yeah, and I think I'll have the first episode done. I don't think I'm gonna make the April 1st deadline like I had said before, but I'm really counting on the May 1st one. I think I can make that, especially because I got my equipment ready. I have the first episode scripted, been practicing a little bit, kind of ready to go. This is a solo podcast mostly, so it's just gonna be me talking to you guys, bantering back and forth like I do. I'm pretty used to talking to myself. That makes me sound like I'm fucking crazy, because you know why I am fucking crazy. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna banter back and forth. But I do have a friend who is also a horror enthusiast. I had to say horror because you really gotta watch how you say that word. But she's the Bold Bookworm on Instagram. Her name is Kristen. She's one of my best friends. I grew up with her, but she's the Bold Bookworm on Instagram, and she does really cool, like, creepy photography with her books, and she does book reviews, horror, thriller, all that kind of stuff. Really good. You guys should check her out on Instagram. Love her stuff. She is a great photographer, very, very creative. I just love it. She's creepy and weird and just cute as a button. I just love her. But anyways, she'll be joining me on the podcast hopefully every once in a while. I've already talked to her a little bit about it, and she is definitely going to do an episode with me. So we'll do some of that too. So it won't be just like just me talking all the time. It will be most of the time, but not all the time. I will try to have a guest now and then. Okay, I've been rambling on for like, I don't know, 5 minutes or something, so I'm gonna let you guys go. What day is it? Thursday? Have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay happy, stay spooky, because that's the only way to be. It's the best way to be. I love you guys, and take care. Good night.